Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Kim with the Craft Space, and if this is your first time, welcome. Thanks for finding me and taking a few minutes today to spend while I do a little bit of a project and go over 5 things that I think new junk journalers might like to know or might like to hear from someone who's been doing it a little while. I by far haven't been doing it like most of people or a lot of influencers out there or content creators or whatever you want to call them. But just 5 things that I've kind of noticed are asked over and over or are in a lot of the comments on the journal groups that I'm part of. And I seem to see the same things over and over, and people looking for reassurance or answering questions over and over. And I thought I would just grab 5 of them, no particular order, and just chat about them while I work on this little project. And then when I am done with that, we'll get into my December daily, which I'm so thankful that you all are helping to hold me accountable so that I can journal every single day. And I think they say it takes 30 days to start a new habit. Well, I'm hoping to get into the habit of journaling every day, or at least trying to journal. And even if that means not writing journaling, but doing something creative in my journal once a day. And you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up if I miss one so far, but so far I think I'm doing pretty good with keeping myself up to my standard, or up to my challenge to myself. But so, like I said, there's about 5 things that I've noticed that people are really repeating themselves or worried about or needing advice on when it comes to junk journaling. And the first one, and like I said, no particular order, just kind of randomly off what I can think of, is how do I learn how to do this? It looks interesting, but how do I learn how to do this? And what I would start by saying is watch a lot of videos, watch different types of videos, watch different styles, watch different creators, watch different content providers, and kind of see what they're doing and where they're starting or what they're doing, and kind of dig through some of their old videos, not just the newest ones, because they can be a little bit overwhelming, a little bit daunting. But yeah, watch different types of content creators. There are people that are doing true vintage, where everything in their journal, including the backgrounds and the pages and everything, are all vintage. Some are doing shabby chic. Some people like to do nothing but junk. Some are doing retro, as in like 70s, 80s, 60s. You know, just look at all of them and kind of see where your niche lies and see what interests you. And I would say start there, but don't get stuck on any one content provider or one junk journal channel, because you know, that might not be your style, and you might struggle, or you might feel that it's just not as interesting to you. And obviously something has drawn you to this this craft or this art. And so yeah, check a bunch of different people out. I watch probably 15 or 20 different ones, and every once in a while a new one pops up, and I go down that rabbit hole and I watch as many videos as I can from that person and try their style and try some of the things they're making. And you know, just because they're making an envelope pouch, that may just have a little bit of a different twist on it than the person you've been watching, or the way you make yours. And so it's that's always a great place to start, is to watch a bunch of different videos. And don't worry if it's not your cup of tea. All you have to do is, I would say, give them a like, and then move along, and they don't have to know that you didn't enjoy their videos. So it's very nice that that YouTube has so many free videos out there for us to watch and to go down different rabbit holes and um, find good content. The second part of it, I think, going along with that would be to choose a style. What is your kind of feel? And don't worry that you aren't making you aren't creating all the styles all in your first journal. You don't have to include them all. You know, just pick a style for what you want to start doing. Which one calls to you? Which one do you already have a lot of the supplies for? And start with that. Start there. Do you want to do all junk, meaning you want to try to be crafty and collect bags and packaging and like security envelopes and that type of route? Or do you want to go with the all printables, where you can go on Etsy and some of the Facebook pages and some Patreons, and you can get everything that you need, including the cover, the fabrics, the beads, the baubles, all of the things. You just print them out on a color printer, and you have everything you need, including a step-by-step instruction on just how to do all of the journal. I call those kind of a plug and play. That's a great way for a new person to start. Do you want one that has a lot of journaling space in it, or do you want one that is more artsy, where you can add your own things every day? Or do you want to just do kind of a naked journal and then add stuff to it every day, and it can be whatever you want it to turn into every single day? But kind of pick a style, and for your first journal or your first few journals, go with those. You know, go with those for a couple of times, and then pick another style and try a different one. Or if you have found the style that you really enjoy, stick with it and work with that for a while. And then, you know, like right now, I usually do the, I really like Natasha from Treasure Books. I like her style quite a bit. And I have done quite a few like hers, which are a little bit ephemera, a little bit of stuff you find at the thrift store, some modern, some vintage looking. She's not real big on printables, and I kind of like her aesthetic. And so I've been doing quite a few of her style of journals, but I do also like doing some very, very vintagey ones where all the papers are dyed some sort, and then using real ephemera for my journals. But this December daily, I am trying something new where it's really just whatever I can find. And some of it is reusing, some of it is vintage 60s and 70s, some of it is just packaging, and really just not overthinking it and just gluing it down and having a good time with it. And that's what this new journal, this December daily is, kind of helping me get through a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a creativity slump, but, you know, just instead of always trying to worry about, does this match? Does this go with my aesthetic? Is this, you know, exactly what I wanted? And now that the holidays are getting close to an end, I'm not worrying about craft fairs and making sure that all my Etsy customers have what they need for the holidays. So I'm trying something new with this December day, and we'll see how it goes. And throughout this next year, 2026, I really want to work on coming up with some different styles and trying some new things that I'm finding out there. So yeah, choose a style and run with it. The next thing I would say is stop collecting stuff and start cutting. Just go with what you have. I think as soon as you've got your basic papers in the background, and you can use anything, notebook paper, tea dyed paper. Don't worry that you don't have all the exact pieces that you want. If you don't have, or you can use paper bags, you can use the packing material left over from Amazon packages, or your packing materials, butcher paper. I'm sure you've watched some videos already about all the different things that you can use for papers. So instead of just always wanting to make sure you have all of the exact things and saving up your money and making sure that you've got note cards and file folders and recipe cards and sticker pages and acetate pages and all those different pages that we all think we need, use what you've got, start cutting and start creating. There's always going to be another journal. There's always another day. There's always a place to add new things. And I say just go for it. And stop worrying about what you don't have and look at all the fun things that you do have. Like this, I think this is a Vogue magazine that I got free from the library, and it isn't doing what I wanted it to do. It's not what I got it for, and so I'm using it and completely repurposing it for a whole nother reason. But another thing that I see a lot of people, you know, they want to make a junk journal, and I see them commenting on my videos, or they comment on other YouTube videos or these Facebook groups that I'm part of, is they just, like, they want to just rush through it and get one done and get a bunch done because they see how fast a video goes and how quickly somebody can complete one on a video, and they worry that, oh my gosh, I don't want to take forever on it. I want to get a bunch of them up on an Etsy shop. I want to sell them. I want to do all the things. You know what? Just take your time. Just slow down with those first journals. Really just let it happen. Enjoy the process. Really just let your creativity flow. Learn how the different bits and pieces work. Learn how your paper cutters like these, how they work, and how when you use flimsy paper, you've got to dig them out with a little set of forceps. If you really want them to come out a little bit easier, you can always, you know, take a piece of it like this and double it up and see how that works a little bit better, and they tend to punch out a little bit better. See how your paper cutter works, and when the blade gets dull, that you need to add an extra piece of paper underneath it. Just enjoy the process of how it works. Learn how the different glues that you want to try. Learn how those different glues, how they work. How close do you really need to get to the edge? Which ones make your paper warp? Which ones are the best for the different papers that you're using or the different applications that you're using? Really just enjoy. That's what this whole thing is about, is really enjoying the process. Take your time. If you feel rushed or you feel like you don't have enough time to finish a project, come up with, you know, put your journal aside for a few minutes or a few days, and if you still want to play around, there's plenty of projects that you can just play and have fun with and not worry about what the end result actually is. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Like what you're doing. And I promise you, the more you play, the more you let the process happen, the more you're going to love it, and the more you're going to want to create, and the more you're going to be successful in whatever the end result is that you want with your journaling. I don't even, like right now, I don't even know exactly what I'm doing with all these little extra ones, except for, I don't know, what about that? That is just the cutest little thing, and I did not think this was going to be in a Vogue magazine. But anyway, and so just enjoy the process. Sometimes if you're just sitting in front of the TV, or you're just listening to the radio or something, and you have a few minutes, sometimes, you know, putting your phone down and just relaxing and cutting and pasting and gluing like we did when we were little kids with no real purpose to it, really can just clear your head and can really just turn your whole day around, and make it go from a day that you feel like you just are running to a day where you actually just did something that was for yourself and calming and relaxing, and there's no reason, there's no outcome, there just is creativity in it. So yeah, with that one, just take your time, don't rush it. There's always going to be more out there, there's always more time. I fall into the trap all the time. I watch videos and I'm like, oh, I want to make this one, I want to make this one, and I have all these themes that I want to make, and I want one that looks like this, and I want one that looks like that, and eventually you just need to just slow down, take your time, and make one at your own pace. And the last thing that I think I will share with you today before we get into the December daily is to don't let perfection paralysis keep you from actually starting. One of the biggest things, and I'm not saying that I'm saving this one for the end because it's one of the biggest things, but it is something that I do hear over and over and over, and that's they want to get everything just right. They want to, I need this, I need that, I want it to be perfect. I'm very, I'm afraid, I'm scared to start. I don't know where to start. What should I do? And that's perfection paralysis. And just do it. Just start and come up with something and just do it. If it doesn't work, put it aside and just start another one. Because if you don't, you'll never start. You'll always be worried about what is the best way, how do I start? I don't want to ruin anything. Well, really, with art or paper arts or paper crafts, you really can't ruin anything. I mean, I guess I wouldn't start with a super vintage book or something that is an heirloom or something that you're really wanting to make a special one, or if you don't want to start on making a wedding journal for somebody with a timeline on it that they need it by a certain time. But really, if you start working on a journal and you just do it, and let's say it doesn't work out and you need to change things around, you can always reuse the bits and pieces for something else. Turn it into something else. Heck, flip it over and use the back. I did an entire craft camp over the summer, and I had a bunch of donated scrapbook paper that I wasn't really a fan of. It wasn't all that pretty, and I didn't think I was going to use it in any of my journals. So instead of using newspaper or regular like plastic shower curtains or anything for backgrounds when the kids were painting, I just gave each one of them a piece of this scrapbook paper every day for when they were doing their initial painting projects. And then when they were done with it, we just threw it in a pile after they were dry, and then they could either get a new one or the same one the next day that they came in. And by the end of it, I ended up cutting it into little pieces, and whoops, see, just can always redo something. I ended up cutting it into little squares with my paper cutter, and I use it for note paper, like just little, when I send people notes in the mail or in their happy mail, and it's really adorable and everybody just loves it. A couple of them that really turned out cute, like the really heavy painted ones in the middle, I cut those up and stapled the corner together and gave them to moms at the end of camp, and so they could use them as a little notepad of all the different things from their kids' camp. And so there is really no wasting when it comes to art supplies. It can always be used for something else, even if it doesn't go into the journal that you are working on or the project that you are working on, because art is art for the sake of just doing art and crafting. It's really good for your brain, especially junk journaling, because there's really no rules. unless you're, like I said, unless you're doing a custom version for somebody, there's just no rules. So just do it. Just don't worry about failing, just do it. I think there's a sports company that said that as well, is just do it. So what I wanted to show you is what I've been working on while we were chatting is I am making little, what I think look like little poinsettias. These are two of my go-to paper punches. This one is a Martha Stewart paper punch, and this one is a Paper Shapers. That sounds like a exercise group. EK Success Paper Shapers. I use these a lot just because they just seem to, they're great for adding little bits to embellishments and things. But I thought this, at the holidays, they almost look like little poinsettias to me. And so today's kind of a poinsettia theme. And so I thought with what I did this morning for my December daily, I realized that I wanted some non-Christmas ones. So I thought while I was chatting with you about some of the things, some little bits of advice, I would work on this project. And set these aside. These will go in my stash for the next journal I'm working on. That is a non-Christmassy journal. Because I have finished all of my Christmas journals. They're all up and loaded and done. I'm done with craft sales and that kind of a thing. And so now I'm looking forward to what I'm going to be doing for January and February and then into the springtime. But let's get into today's December daily. So here is, I didn't add anything new to the dangle. I did not add anything new to the cover. I still haven't decided yet. Hopefully you guys will help me decide in the comment below, or you can comment down below and help me decide if I'm going to put this nifty little Santa, which I think he's the forerunner right now. I think he's the one. I think he's the cutest. But I really do like this, and this one will take a little bit of finagling, but I could tuck this in and put that on there. That's, I think, pretty cute too. And I'm not so worried about losing my collage because inside the journal is a copy. Whenever I do a big collage that takes me a while, I do run up to the library and make a couple colored photocopies so I can keep them and use them for other things. I might turn them into some cards and do like a series of them and add them to my Etsy shop so that you can, other people can use them as backgrounds or as pages or parts of their signature or whatever they want to use them for. I've had a couple people say, oh my gosh, I would love a piece of your original artwork. So I might do that, but I always get a good copy of it. And so in my journal itself, there is, I think I put 2 of them in here. I won't bother you. I won't waste time trying to find them. But if you've watched any of the other videos, I think it was back a few pages. Alrighty, so let's see here. Let's look at today's, the 23rd. We are getting down to just a few pages in the back. And as you notice, I did not do every single page. I'm going to go in, oh, here it is, right here. This is the back of, which is obviously not lined up as much as I had thought it was, because there's a little Santa face, and there's the Santa face right in the middle of the page. But still, these were all snippets from the journals that I did from my craft sales and for all the December Etsy shop gifts and things. So anyway, but these are going to be where I take all the gift card exchanges that I was part of and all the happy mail and the random acts of kindness that we all share with each other. And I'm going to go ahead and when I have time, I will fill in all these extra days, add Christmas cards from my family in here. I've got a stack of those from last weekend's gift exchange with my family, and so I will add all of those in on all these extra pages. So I've been skipping a couple and finding what days I like the best. But so here is today's December daily. I might go ahead and just journal on this page I'm not quite sure. I might do that tonight before I go to bed. But what I wanted to show you is that this page is entirely done with punch outs with that poinsettia, with just the two, the large one and the small one, including punching out the Tuesday out of that note page that, or that the weekly note piece that I've used throughout. I had just enough of the Tuesday left that I was able to eke out a large piece, and then I glued a 2 and a 3 together on a different piece of paper, and then punched it out with the little punch to get my Tuesday the 23rd. I thought that was kind of creative. And all of these pieces on here are from this December thank you from all the businesses. They send out this little magazine thing, and it's all of our local businesses in our small county that I live in. The roofing companies and the car detailing and the grocery stores and the real estate and insurance and all of those. They send out this really pretty, colorful magazine with thank yous and happy holidays, and I've been using bits and pieces out of it to supplement some of my journals, because there's the cutest graphics. Well, then I had this like pile of all cut up stuff, but it still seemed like it needed to be used, so I went ahead and punched out a bunch of these. And I was really going to just start and do one of these, the edges of just all the different ones. But then there were so many cute ones that I thought, I'm just going to fill the whole page and we're going to just get creative and let it happen. And so I added, like, this is from our little Geauga County Sheriff's Department is here. One of the car detailers had a little funny elf face. Some of them had little cardinals on them. The snowflakes, I popped out some of the snowflakes and poinsettias, a little local bakery. Some of them were just the corner art. This one looked like it was a close-up on some Christmas lights, and I thought those were pretty. And I really didn't overthink this. I just laid down a layer of the large ones and then filled in with the small ones and used up as many as I could use up. Like this one is a bow. You can't really see that it's a bow. But if you look really closely, you can tell it's a bow, and it's kind of a little bit of an abstract page. I think it's fun, and I really had a lot of fun doing it. And being this close to Christmas with everything that needs to be done, getting ready for the holidays, and really getting ready for the upcoming production season that starts for me next week. I just thought this would be nice and fun and easy. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Have you ever done a collage like this that's not ripping and tearing or in regular shapes? I might try one next time with some circles. I think that might be fun. Circles, or I don't want to do squares because that's what I'm doing with my my grid on the front. So I'll see what else I have, and I thought this was a lot of fun. So anyway, I don't want to dwell on that too much, but I did get the 23rd done, and now we've got 2 days before Christmas, and so let's flip and see what I came up with for my grid. So today, since it seemed like I was doing those were all poinsettia shapes, in that magazine was a poinsettia right in the middle, and it was kind of cut off on the corner, so it really didn't make good corner art. So I went ahead and added it to my grid to go with that. And again, I'm running out of time. I probably need to decide. So after Christmas Day, I need to decide, do I do a flip up and add the rest of my grid? Do I tack it up here, or I don't want to add it on the side because then I think it's going to add, I don't know yet. That's why I haven't done it yet. And I can't do it on the back. I can't flip it over this way because I've already got day one here. So this is called not planning ahead. But again, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. Kind of one of the things I talked about. Sometimes there's failures. Sometimes they're, as Bob Ross would say, happy accidents. And I will decide. That's why this is still just paper clipped on, because I'm not sure what I'm actually going to do there. I'm really, really thinking I'm going to do something where it flips down, because I just need, 2 rows. I might do it so it's one on the front and one on the back, and it'll flip up and be a piece of interest, and then this will just go along the top. But we'll see. I've got 2 days to decide. Nothing like waiting to the last minute. I think that's a a very big theme when it comes to the holidays is wait till the last minute and you'll figure it out. And today, here we are, the 23rd, went ahead and X this off, again, holding myself accountable. Little Christmas Eve right here, Christmas Day, and then we've got Boxing Day. So 3 days of festivities coming up. So thank you again so much for coming along with me on this journey, and all of your really, really sweet comments that you've been leaving for me. I've been trying to respond to them. I will get to them, but I do read them even though I don't respond all of the time. But thank you so much, and if you could like this video, that would really mean a lot to me, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow and the next day and the next day, but enjoy getting ready for the next few days, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.